Aquaba, and welcome to Expat Life Ghana. I'm Ayo, and this is Tony, and we are documenting our move from Texas to Ghana as we go beyond the return.
In this video, we had the opportunity to sit down with Vanessa Kanbi. She's a fellow YouTuber who just made the move to Ghana. It was awesome to meet her and get a chance to talk to her.
I had so much fun chatting with her. I can't wait for you guys to see this interview. So let's get this video started.
So you two were literally like two little schoolgirls giggling and talking. I had to sit this one out, folks, just to tell you.
Totally guilty as charged on that one. I could have sat down and chatted with Vanessa for like hours, literally hours.
You mean you didn't?
No.
Okay, felt like it. Anyway, you two did have some great chemistry.
Well, I mean, it's like we've lived these like weird parallel lives. The biracial kids with Ghanaian dads, just recently making the move to Ghana with our families. I mean, it's like we're having the same kind of journey. So it's fun. It was so fun to talk to her.
I get that. Okay, we got the chance to sit down with her and do an interview for her channel as well. And the link for that is below.
I know, so that was cool for us because we got to be on her channel as well. And she was selected as part of YouTube's Black Voices. And she's just really amplifying the message that we're always getting to as well.
Absolutely.
That you as a person of color have options outside of just living in the West. So
absolutely.
I love that.
Ghana is an option for living a more peaceful life with your family and making your Blaxit.
Woo! Blaxit! Okay, so we had a chance to talk about moving to Ghana, living in Ghana with kids, some tips for others who are planning their move, and so much more.
Mm-hmm. Before we start the interview, drop a comment below and let us know which part of the interview you love the most.
Oh my God, you guys are going to love this interview. Let's go ahead and get this one started. We just wanted to ask you a few questions now that you've officially made the move to Ghana. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks so much. Long time coming.
Yeah.
But finally, I'm here.
Why now?
So, I mean, I've wanted to move. Basically, I've been coming ever since I was 3 years old. My dad's from Ghana, my mom's from Scotland. And then every 2 years, my parents would bring us here on holiday. And initially it was very much like we were with the family in the family house, which I actually loved, to be honest, like, because there was so many kids around. I could just go and like play on the compound, run around, just like write letters.
Freedom.
Yeah, just do whatever. And then when I got to 16, I started going out with my older cousins. So we started going like clubbing, and that is when like everything changed for me actually. And actually my whole perception of Ghana changed. So like people, I feel like now on my channel, they might think I just like living like, you know, like going to nice places and stuff like that. But that's not how I used to. That's not how I fell in love with Ghana.
Right.
You know, I fell in love with more of like, just like running around in an empty compound, you know, no air conditioning, nothing. Basically.
Questionable clothing choices.
Yeah, exactly.
I was 17 when I was here, and I went to my first bar without, like, nobody was around, and my peers were taking me to a bar. I was like, is this legal? Can you be at a bar? I'm only 17. They're like, yeah, what are you talking about? Come on. I was like, oh my God, I love it here.
So did you also start coming when you were younger with your parents?
My first trip was while I was one.
Right, okay.
But the one when I came when I was in high school was for me the most memorable one because at that age it was a different kind of experience.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So sorry, I'm taking the really long road to this answer because it's a long one. And then I'd say from when I was like 16, I thought like I definitely want to live in Ghana at some point.
Wow.
You know, at least try it out. And then like life happened, you know what I mean? Like I used to model all this stuff. I lived in London and stuff like that. And then I had my 2 kids. And then it was like finding the right time.
Yep.
You know, like when's the right time? I'm married, so obviously we have to consider like my husband's job and like, you know, he had like a proper job.
Right.
Whereas like I've always like worked for myself.
Yeah.
So for me, I can't just get up and
Anytime.
go.
Yeah.
I'm
I
ready.
think that's so interesting because I think that happens a lot. You know, people from Ghana will send their kids abroad to go to school and they're like, you know, and then come back, but they meet someone, they get married, they have a kid, they get a job, they get student loans. Mm-hmm. And the next thing you know, it's like, you can't, you know, you're almost stuck in your Western life. Mm-hmm. So you've actually
Yeah, so
Made it
finally this year in March we moved, and it was such a quick decision. So like I've wanted to for a long time, but then like my husband came with our kids it was my kids' first ever time. So I wanted my kids to come and see it before we actually moved. So that was in December of 2020, and then 3 months later we moved. So my husband was like, yeah, I'm ready now. Do you know what I mean? And I was like,
wow.
Oh my gosh. So even at that point I felt like, shouldn't we give it like 6 months or like 7 months so that I can like, so we can like prepare it more? But then I realized like we're actually stuck at home. It was locked down. I think that had something to do with it as well.
Yeah.
We were in the house and there was nothing to do. And I just thought, I cannot do this any longer.
If you need a catalyst for moving, just get stuck in your house for a while with your family. You'll want to get out of there so bad.
And so I asked my kids, like, do you want to move in March or do you want to wait till the end of the school year? And they were like, yeah, we want to move now.
Wow, did they enjoy that first trip?
They loved it. Absolutely loved it. I think just being outside, especially from being inside for like a whole year to now being outside swimming, meeting new friends.
And
fun.
that's it. Yeah. Oh, totally. So did you have a hard time convincing, because your husband's not getting in at all, did you have a hard time convincing your husband to come? Because for me, you know, that first trip for him, he, I think, thought Ghana was going to be something completely different. So that first trip was actually hard. But once he got here, he was convinced.
Yeah.
Same thing?
So I feel like the first time we came was like in December, just me and my husband. And
that was your husband's first trip too?
So not that time. We came 2 or 3 years before that. But it was a very different, it was like a party holiday.
Yes.
Basically.
Coming at Christmas is not real life.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So like he didn't really get a chance to see what it was really like. And I think that he might have just thought it was just partying. Do you know what I mean? So then he didn't really get a chance. But when we came with the kids, he was instantly like, you know, 2 days in as well, he was just like, this is amazing. This is a great life for the kids, which I knew because I've been so many times.
Right.
But I think he just had to see it for himself. And then he knew straight away. And now he's like, he doesn't want to go back.
Now he doesn't want to go back?
Yeah.
Are you going to go back? I mean, like, do you feel like this is a temporary move, either because you have come with kids or because of job and employment? Or do you feel like, is it permanent or temporary?
So I feel like we've given it a year. So like we've given ourselves a year, and on that, at that time, we'll like review the whole situation. So I guess for like several reasons, like my husband took a year career break and other stuff, we have to like review it. Do you know what I mean? And see like how everyone's getting on. But for me, obviously I've wanted to live here like my whole life.
So you're good.
Yeah, but like it's just, I mean, there's just so many people to take into consideration. There's the kids as well. Like I want to see how they're getting on in a year's time. I don't want to just think, I want to be here. So like, you know, even if they were feeling a certain way, I'm still going to keep them here. So, you know.
So how are the kids doing? Are they adapting to moving? Because that's so much different than just visiting.
Mm-hmm. They're enjoying it. So I've got 2 kids. One is 8 and one is 4. And it's different for both of them.
Absolutely.
Like my daughter is really young, so I think it doesn't really matter where she is, as long as she's with us. Whereas my son had some really solid friendships that he misses. So that's quite difficult sometimes. Like, you know, I get guilt tripped into like thinking that I left, that I split him up from, you know, his friends, which is quite sad, especially when he says that. But he enjoys, like he really enjoys his new school, but he misses his old school. So I think there's still, you know, it's early days. We've only been here for like 2.5 months.
It's still, there's a lot of adaptation that has to go on. Do you think that you're able to give them the same quality of life and experiences here in Ghana that you were able to give in the West? Or do you feel like you've had to compromise or that it's not as good?
Hi, I'm Leo. Subscribe right now.
So I think we're giving them a better way of life here, 100,000,000%. Like we can be outside. Scotland, it's raining pretty much like 99% of the time. So you can't really go outside a lot.
So miserable. That is, she's
really,
the opposite of the Scotland tourism board. That's like,
no, do you know what? It's so beautiful, like really beautiful architecture, beautiful countryside, stuff like that. But it rains a lot, and so you can't spend much time outside. Really? Well, if you like the rain, like some people put on like puddle suits, wellies. I don't like being in the cold, so I would just
No,
stay
you're
inside.
already convinced. Nobody that's listening is like, oh no, that sounds great. No, they're all like, yeah. So the weather is really
Yeah,
a
I
big
think
benefit
that's
here.
yeah, I think that's one of the big things is being able to just like after school they can play outside, like they can go swimming, they can play with their friends. But then also I think the level of education that they're getting here is also really, really good. Like I'm happy with the school.
Do you have them in an international school?
Yeah, so they're at an international school, which I like the school and everything, but I do think like, you know, some people might say it's problematic, and I've spoken to people that go to boarding schools here as well, and there's some great like government boarding schools. Like my dad went to a boarding school here, and there's some really, really great ones, and it just depends on the way you want to like live.
I know, but they send them so young. I feel like anxiety. They're just babies, and you're sending them to boarding school, and they're only like 14 and 15 years old.
I feel like the people in the UK send their kids to boarding school at 7, 8 years old.
No. In the US, they live with you until they're 30, and then you try to kick them out. It's just, there's, you know, college is really your first experience where you go off and live by yourself is when you go to college.
Oh, so is boarding school not really a thing?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, like your kids are at home with you until they're 18, and then at 18, they leave you to go to college. So
in the UK, like, people send their kids to boarding school at 8 years old. Not everyone, but some people.
No, never.
I mean, I would never. Like, I could never. But, you know, and here is... The other thing is here, boarding school, like it really, I was never there, but from what I've heard, it teaches you independence.
Right.
You do everything for yourself. Like you're sweeping, you're changing
all
your
the
sheets, you're
washing,
washing
everything.
and all that stuff. So I think, actually, even my dad, like he does everything for himself. Like he's a very like independent man.
It is really interesting to see how much there's so much communal raising of children before they go to boarding. So everybody kind of, maybe kids aren't doing a lot of self-sufficiency because there's like that family kind of raising.
Yeah.
And then when they go to boarding, you're basically like, so here you go. Now you can figure out all of your life and how things work. Good luck. We'll see you in 3 months when you come on holiday. And just for me, I'm just like, wow. But the alternative to that is by sending them in when they go to college.
Mm-hmm. Is it too late?
Is it too late, right? Like you don't know how to do anything. Good luck out in the world and don't ever come back. It's very, well, so the kids have transitioned well. The husband has transitioned well.
Mm-hmm.
You've transitioned well because you've been looking forward to this forever.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm loving it, but I think, like, there was like, at the start, it was like I think because I've been looking forward to it for so long, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, and then you actually realize that dream. It's very much like, oh my gosh, like it's actually happened. And there was a lot of different things going on in my head. Like, you know, we're now like, it's my business that we're doing. And I felt like quite a lot of pressure.
Responsibility.
Yeah, initially. But now I'm like into it. But I think that first maybe month, I was a bit like, oh my gosh, like it's actually happened.
You just decided to move. And you did
then also I'm thinking like the kids, like, you know, even if I know it's the right thing for them, there's all these things that start going around in my head.
Absolutely.
You know, I really like decided that this is the thing to do, but I'm glad. But I would say it wasn't like I got here and then I was just skipping down the road. Yay!
No, there's an adjustment period for sure, for sure. But you guys seem like you've done really well. What tips can you give someone else who maybe isn't all the way committed to the idea or is just dancing with it in their head? Like what would motivate someone to actually make the move?
So I also tell people to come and visit because I think it depends if you've got family here or if you've not, but you just want to make sure it's the right thing for you because not everything's for everyone,
right.
You know? And it is a very, very different way of living in a sense. And I love it because I'm actually quite a relaxed person. Like I don't really mind.
Kind of chill.
Yeah, you have to. Like, I don't really mind really if people are late, stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. But some people it might really annoy. So, you know, and there's that side of it. But anyway, it is such an amazing place, but you just have to experience it for yourself before making that decision. And then I would say, so what I did is I found where I wanted to live. I came on a trip to figure all that stuff out.
Right.
So like if you've got kids, maybe you could come on your own without the kids to try and like figure everything out before coming. So I came like 2 months before to like find the place we were going to rent. try and figure out the car situation.
Right.
You know, like look at the schools, all those practicalities I came and did on my own.
Yeah, you can definitely do it once you arrive, but there's a lot of there's a lot of other things that you have to manage when you actually make the transition. So if you can lay the groundwork ahead of time, it just makes everything a lot smoother. So I completely agree with you. Well, so for everyone who's like, no, I'm 110% in, I'm already planning my move. Did you ship or did you pack?
So we shipped probably unnecessary things looking back. Like we literally bought, I think, 8 barrels. So the barrels are quite big, like 200 liters or something like that.
Yes.
And then we also shipped some things that broke that we probably just shouldn't have shipped. Like my daughter's huge doll's house. It cost about £150 to ship. And then it was like just in pieces when it came.
Oh no,
And then
super glue. I know where you can find super glue.
Yeah, I probably need that. And then we shipped some other things that we thought we couldn't get here. Like we've got an exercise bike. As I say, like these things are not really necessary. I think.
I'm glad you're saying that because we had somebody who said they shipped 2 containers to move here, and I was like, there's no way that you need 2 containers worth of things from your US life. So, I mean...
So, like, all our furniture, our place was unfurnished. All our furniture was made here.
Right.
And it was affordable and great quality.
Yes.
Like, made from wood. Like
actual
solid
wood. Actual wood, not particle board.
And just, like, really, really nice stuff. And it looks natural and stuff like that. Like, you know, we use natural, like, rattan and stuff like that. So you definitely don't need furniture. I was going to say the one thing maybe that you might need is a mattress, but you know what? You probably can't find a mattress. What? So our mattress feels like we're sitting on the floor. Is yours like that as well?
Oh my God, you guys know already that we are in bring the mattress. That is the only thing that I will tell you to ship is absolutely bring the mattress. We have been since September on the ash foam, and if you ask Tony right now, like I can see his face and he's basically grimacing from deep within. It's like sleeping on the floor.
We've also got the ash foam.
Oh my God, it's the worst thing ever.
I left my sister to organize these things, and it's not her fault because like that is just how it is.
That's just what they have.
I did find a soft one for my mum, but it was so expensive. Like, you know, and it was like a single that I bought, and it was just ridiculously expensive.
Yeah,
but I don't know how much it would cost to ship, so it would need to be like figured out if it was worth it.
Highly suggest you get the beds that come in a box and make that shipping happen. Just a recommendation. So I'm going to ask you for one thing that you shipped that you wish you'd left behind, and one thing that you didn't bring that you're like, crap.
Okay. So the thing that I shipped...
It's going to be the exercise bike, you guys.
It's probably... I mean, I've not used the exercise bike. It's definitely not been plugged in. The thing that I shipped is probably just like all the clothes that I've not worn, because I actually want to like get things made here and wear like locally made clothes. So I've got just so many clothes that haven't been touched. I wish I'd just left those behind.
You know you want to wear this stuff anyway. Don't pack all that. Okay, totally.
And then
all the clothes.
what I wish I'd left behind, what I wish I'd brought, there's really nothing. Like there's nothing that I need that I've not got.
Nice.
Is there things that you wish you'd brought?
I don't know. I'm interviewing you. You don't have to tell. I don't know.
No, but I'm just wondering. Like
the mattress. The mattress is the one thing. But we're working on that one. But otherwise, you know, we discussed before. If you come here and you're living a Ghanaian life, everything you need is here, because Ghanaians have been living this life for a long time, and everything's fine. If you're coming and you want to live an American life, that's where you're going to have challenges getting the things that you need. Like if you absolutely have to have a panini press, and you know you can't live your life without it, baby, you should ship that or consider an alternative. But you know, it's everything you need to get by is here.
Yeah, and I mean the things that I use the most is my camera gear, and I did bring all that here.
Yes.
But you can get a lot of it here. It's just a bit more expensive.
Right.
And even like my son, for his birthday, he wanted a PC, and I thought, I wish I'd brought it because it would have been cheaper. But actually, we managed to get it cheaper, better quality by getting it built here by like local computer technicians. I don't know what they call themselves.
Absolutely.
You know, like building it by the parts, and it's perfect. So I just think you can. I asked my sister before I moved here. So she moved here like 3 years before I moved here. And I said, like, what do I need? Like, what can you not get there? She was like, you can get everything. Like, you can actually get everything.
You can get everything. It might not be the brand you're used to or the exact version that you had, but you can get everything.
Yeah.
So that's always good to know, except for a mattress. So that's always good to know. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and giving everybody some tips and some suggestions. It was really nice talking to you.
Thanks so much for having me on the channel. I love you guys. You know, your channel is so great.
We love you too. Oh, fangirls. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Wow, you two are great.
That was so much fun. For real though, I could have talked to her like all day.
Some key things I thought you two discussed were the transitioning with kids.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that people get really anxious about moving with kids. And both of us have had really good experiences. It's easier than most people think, so.
Yes, another key thing was to just do it.
Yes, I know that you guys want to do it. You want to make this move. So just put in a plan in place and do it. Just commit and do it.
And I love what she had to say about everything being in Ghana. You can get what you need here and so much more.
Absolutely. So you don't have to pack everything in the kitchen sink and ship it all here. You just don't need to. And I completely agree with what she said about visiting first and taking time to lay a good foundation before you move. Like, I think that's just a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her husband is so much like me in that he fell in love with Ghana on his first trip. I think his name is Sean, right?
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, Sean was great. It was really nice to meet him. My guess is so many others of you too will make that same trip happen.
Yeah, like it's true, right? Once you come and have this experience, it changes you. You reconsider. Mm-hmm. And so the first step is just
the initial visit.
Just get here and Ghana will do the rest for you. So if you enjoyed this interview, hit that like button right now. And I think Vanessa and I should totally sit down again and do another chat.
Count me out. Count me out. That was too much giggling and talking and giggling and giggling.
Okay, well, so what would you guys like us to talk about if Vanessa and I sat down again?
Drop a comment below and let us know what you think.
Yes, and if you haven't already discovered Vanessa, pop over to her channel, check out her content. It's excellent. She's awesome at the Ghana lifestyle.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
Mm-hmm. And with that, Charlie out for now. You're geeking so much tonight. You're like, oh, Vanessa, like, holy cow.
The worst looks was like, why are you putting your boob in that white baby's mouth? Just like she had.
Oh, it's recording.
all that talk.
Got her laughing all over.